Happy Monday, everyone. Hey, Palak. Hi. Hope your Monday was good. Hi, Mom and Dad. So, in our last session, in session 95, I talked about some of the things that I admit about myself. And we talked about crying, and I realized that there are so many people online that day who do the same. So, anyone who didn't see session 95, the context is that I cry a lot. I'll cry when watching a Disney movie or when I'm stressed or frustrated or sad. I think someone else, I believe it was Sunny, who said that when he sees others cry, even strangers cry, he tears up. I'm the same. And I think personally that tears are a real blessing. So I read some information on a wonderful medical blog by Judith Orloff, who's a doctor. And so happy to see Prabhat, Jerlin, Dhara, Pranam Pepe, Vishnu, everyone here today. Thank you for joining. So Judith Orloff says that tears are the body's release valve for stress, sadness, grief, anxiety, and frustration. You can have tears of joy, let's say when something amazing happens or a child is born, or tears of relief when a moment of difficulty has passed. In my own life, I'm really grateful when I cry. It feels cleansing, it feels like a way to purge pent up emotions so that they don't stay lodged in my body as stress symptoms such as fatigue or pain. And to stay healthy and release stress, many doctors actually encourage their patients to cry, to allow tears. For both men and women, tears are a sign of courage, strength, and humanity. So, of course, besides the my own personal thing, I wanted to see what the science is behind tears. Like the ocean, tears are salt water. Protectively, they lubricate our eyes, they remove irritants, they reduce stress hormones, they contain antibodies that fight pathogenic microbes. Our bodies actually produce three kinds of tears: reflex, continuous, and emotional. And each kind has a different healing role. For instance, reflex tears allow our eyes to clear out noxious particles when they're irritated, let's say by smoke or dust or exhaust fumes. And the second kind, continuous tears, are produced regularly to keep our eyes lubricated. These contain a chemical called lysozyme, which functions as an antibacterial and protects our eyes from infection. And tears also travel to the nose through the tear duct to keep the nose moist and bacteria free. So cool. Typically, after crying, also our breathing, our heart rate decreases. So we enter into a calmer biological and emotional state. Very cool about continuous tears. And then, of course, emotional tears. They have really special health benefits. There's a biochemist and tear expert. I didn't know that existed, but yes, there's a tear expert called Dr. William Frey who discovered that reflex tears are 98% water, whereas emotional tears also contain stress hormones, which get excreted from the body through crying. And after studying the composition of tears, Dr. Frey found that emotional tears shed these hormones and other toxins which accumulate in our body during stress situations. Studies also suggest that crying stimulates the production of endorphins, which is our body's natural painkiller and a feel good hormone. And interestingly, humans are the only creatures known to shed emotional tears, though some scientists believe that it's possible that elephants and gorillas also shed emotional tears. So, why is it good to cry beyond these obvious scientific aspects. I think that for me at least, crying always makes me feel better. Even when a problem is ongoing, just having that release is so useful. And in addition to a physical detox, they also help you to heal your heart, and you don't really want to hold tears back. I think a lot of people, when they cry, they'll say, "Oh, excuse me," or "I'm so sorry for crying," or "I'm trying hard not to cry," or "I feel weak that I'm crying." And we have to ask ourselves, where does that sentiment come from? You know, I think a lot of families or parents grew up feeling uncomfortable around tears. And we don't really have to be uncomfortable around tears. Society also many times will say, "Oh, don't let them see you crying." Or also about men, that, powerful men don't cry. And Judith Orloff, who wrote this medical blog, said that we probably should reject these notions. Yeah, the new enlightened paradigm of what constitutes a powerful man or woman is someone who has the strength and self-awareness to cry. We don't really need to put up this macho front of bravery. It isn't really that. I think as a society we can let go of outmoded, untrue misconceptions about crying. It is good to cry. It is healthy to cry, and it emotionally clears sadness and stress. And it's also essential to resolve grief. When in some phases, I've definitely faced this, waves of tears keep coming over me, as I'm experiencing a loss or heartache. I think tears help us process loss so we can keep an open heart, going forward. And so suppressing these very strong emotions is actually harmful. So I think that when another friend of yours apologizes for crying the next time that they're sad, maybe you can remind them that, your tears blessed my shoulder or blessed my clothes or blessed my floor. There's nothing to apologize for. One interesting thing that I read on Judith Orloff's blog was that she did a psychiatric residency at UCLA, where she would watch videos of her patients with other supervisors at UCLA. And the supervisors noticed that Judith would always smile when a patient cried. And they would tell her, "Oh, that's very inappropriate of you." But she disagreed, and she still does disagree. Judith wasn't smiling because her patients were depressed or grieving. She was smiling because they were courageously healing, going through depression or other difficult emotions with their tears. And so she was happy for their breakthrough. And honestly, she's very thankful that our bodies even have the capacity to cry. Me personally, I would call myself an enthusiastic crier. What works for me though is, after some time of having observed myself during these phases where I want to cry or feel the need to cry, I have begun to let my friends and family know that I am going to cry. And, especially in non-crying phases, I will tell my buddies, my close ones, that 99% of the time that I'm crying, you don't even have to do anything. Just let me. And one of my colleagues, Rohit, told me that I am also an efficient crier, because the few times that I've cried in front of him, it seems like it's a switch, an on and off switch. So I immediately feel better after howling for a bit, and then I just get on with the day. I don't know about that. I don't know if I'm super efficient, and I don't know that I need to be super efficient with crying. Um, I think all of it is okay. So let's breathe together and remember some of these ideas. Let's maybe breathe in for 4, 2, 3, 4, and exhale through our mouths for 4, 2, 3, 4. And even as we were talking about this, as you continue breathing, just reflect for a moment. Did you feel tears coming on? Did you feel like you were able to release something? Is it easy for you to cry? Do you enjoy it? Are you ashamed of crying? Who taught you that it's something to be embarrassed about? Tears are a gift. And I hope that everyone is allowed to experience that and appreciate it and acknowledge it. And of course, every person is different, so to each their own. However, if you can't or won't cry, I hope you will allow others around you to do so without guilt or shame, because they truly can relieve stress or negativity or tension through their tears. So, whether or not you cannot, do allow others to. So, one last time, let's breathe in and exhale. Crying is good. Tears are a blessing. All right, beautiful people. I hope you have such an amazing day. I hope that you let yourself feel whatever it is that you're feeling. And yeah, just have a great week ahead. And one last ending thought. Tears actually help me to keep it light because I'm lighter having released all that weight. So, yeah. All right, beautifuls. Have a great, great day and a great week ahead. I will see you so soon, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Mwah! Ciao!